Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. The issue of insecurity is a big problem, especially in the north. And I like it the way Apostle Johnson Suleiman put it. You know, he replied the Sultan of Sokoto, who said the north is now the most deadliest place to live on earth. I beg your pardon. In fact, Apostle Johnson Suleiman replied him cleverly, saying, "No, what you have said is tantamount to hate speech. You can't say that. In fact, the judiciary should hold a meeting or an account of saying one part of Nigeria is not conducive for people to live in. How dare you say that?" As a matter of fact, he replied the Sultan so well. He said, because, the north is a very peaceful place. This government is giving Nigeria the best of security. So what are you talking about? Are you in a dreamland? Please wake up. It's 2020. You know, the North continue to parade and deceive themselves that there is no insecurity problem in the country. They gathered and all they could be discussing about. We're talking about the 19 northern state governors gathered together, including their traditional leaders, sultans, and what have you, instead of them to bring about important issue that is ravaging the north. By the way, if you don't know, just yesterday, 43, that's, the media puts it very mild. It could be more than that. Okay, just for you to know, 43 men working on their rice farm became headless. I don't want to use the other word because YouTube, you have to, does not agree to some kind of words being said. So I don't want to use a word that is offensive. You know, viewer discretion. Putting that in consideration. Yes, and as we're speaking, 10 women are still missing. So what are we talking about? The north is the most conducive place to live on earth. And guess what? They say what goes around come around. Let them continue to toil and play with it until we get to their sons and daughters. By the time senators, governors, ministers, and even the president gets into the very hole, maybe they will take it seriously. As a matter of fact, the security chiefs, nobody has been held accountable. Do you know what happened in France? 3 protesters were killed while a protest was on. Immediately, people were sacked. The prime minister quickly held a press conference in Nigeria. 3 people. That is okay now. We should be talking about. Did you hear what Lai Mohammed said? Only 100 people died during the NSAS protest. Only Nigerians. So another woman is asking, why can't we storm the streets like the Southerners would have done? Look at the insecurity in the country. What is going on right now in the north is unbecoming. A northern Muslim has asked the question, why can't we storm the streets like the Southerners would have done? If we could recall, the majority of people came out in the NSAS protest and against public and police brutality were from the south. Another woman who tweeted had taken to her Twitter page and account to react to the recent death of 40 to 43 farmers who were slaughtered by the B-boys. She called on her fans and followers and asked them why they cannot storm the streets just like in the south would have done to speak against this B-boys activity and unprecedented killing shooting that we experience every day in the north. Everybody goes to bed with one eye closed, praying to God to wake up the very next day. The deaths of these farmers have triggered a lot of reactions from Nigerians. The northern lady, who is an influencer, has said enough is enough. The north should come out and they should do that against the B-boys. Guess what, my sister? Thank you for citing the obvious, but I'm sorry to burst your bubble, okay? See, what's going on in the north is systematic oppression. Take it from me. Continuous systematic oppression where we use religion, where we use tribalism, nepotism, to mention but a few, to oppress the very people we are supposed to be governing, who brought us into power, who brought them into leadership. What do? They tell them, the book said you must not do this, you must not do that. But what are they doing to the people? Nothing. Anything being done? No. They tell them, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You cannot speak against leadership. You cannot do this when you are constantly being oppressed. I beg your pardon. So what's going on right now in this country is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. Where people, the life of human being do not matter anymore. The life of a human being mean nothing to those in leadership. In fact, human life have become like the life of chickens and the rest. Nobody pays attention. Nobody makes sure that Nigerians are well looked after. Indeed, this country is in shambles. And unless something is done seriously, a number of times the whole nation has called on this leadership of Buhari. Why can't we change the service chiefs? It's not working, it's not working. No, Buhari will never change them. Why? There is a common adage that goes to say, birds of a feather flock together. They are the same people. There are people of his kind. There are people whom he has picked. Remember that they were not voted for. These are people he appointed. So how can you tell him? You saw how brutally took over NSAS, how he went after unarmed people, how he went about and is telling the soldiers and the rest, don't be afraid. What is international sanction? What's the worst that can happen? They are not going to give you visa. You're not traveling. After all, we are called to protect the country. After all, we are called to. That's all. That's all he can say. So you see, it's a see. You know that in this country there is part of the budgetary budget that goes into look to trying to stop insurgency, insecurity in the country. So some people in this country have opened their tents. In fact, their bank account is reflecting what's happening. Do you remember bring back our girls when United States of America were so concerned? How can children go to school and from school be carried away? Some are only children, some are only child. Parents got them after a difficult time. Only God knows how many years before they got those children. One only child, some only daughter, some the eye of the family. Mention but a few. They came to assist Nigerians. Guess what happened? They would have planned, they would have proposed and put agenda in place how to get to these people. You know, the one that made the Americans pack their baggages and left Nigeria was they've mapped out the whole place, taking a shopper, tried to map out where these billboards were, and they said, okay, we're going to gas them out, capture them, and what have you. Guess what? The very day and time they were supposed to do this to the very people, capture them, and bring an end to the insecurity and what have you, they got there, they were all fully maxed. What does that tell you? Aha, there is a Judas within the camp. Leave us a comment. God bless you. Bye for now.